The best defense is a strong offense. Problems are actually inevitable in our daily human existence. They're inevitable. One way or another, you'll actually face a problem. What matters is how you approach or how you deal with that problem as it comes. That's what actually matters. And so there's this book, Phscho-cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. The book actually talks about this military principle. The military principle is the best defense is a strong offense. The book puts the principle in the context of how we should actually deal and actually how we should approach problems whenever they emerge. Imagine this. It's during those olden times. You have a very beautiful wife, you have awesome kids, and your peace is actually disrupted by this large invading army. As a man, you know that you can't hide in your house. It won't be the best option for keeping you safe, your wife safe, and your kids safe, because if you hide in your house, this army will actually come, they'll drag you out of your house, and they'll kill you in front of your family. They'll then kill your wife, and also your children will not be safe, obviously. And so, as a man in this situation, during the olden days, you know that you only have one option. You have to act fast and you have to act quick. You have to pick up your sword, get out and join the rest of the men to fight off this invading army. You plan your strategies on the strongest offense possible in order to defend your city, to defend your families. I like what Marcus Aurelius said in his book Meditations, also another great book, highly recommend it. Marcus Aurelius, he also talks in the sense of being at war. He says that where you've volunteered to or where your commander has put you to, he says that you should take your stand and face the enemy. I like that word, face the enemy, that he says. And Marcus says that don't worry about being killed or anything else. Just worry about doing your duty. So in that example that I gave, obviously your duty as that man is to protect your family and protect your city from this imminent danger. So that's also the approach that we should have on problems. Maxwell Maltz says that whenever a problem emerges in our lives, we should not try to dodge that problem. We should not try to hide away from that problem, but actually confront it head on. And by confronting it head on, this problem actually becomes smaller and smaller. Most successful people also have this approach to problems. I heard Alex Hamosi say in one of his videos that during his broke days, he will every day check his bank account status. He will track his expenses, see if he was, wasting money and stuff. That was his own unique way of confronting the fact that he was broke and work on it. And so what most of us are actually guilty of is whenever a problem emerges in our lives, we don't face this problem head on and try to do away with it. What we do instead is we actually run and hide away from these problems. And by doing this, reality actually catches up with us one way or another. We realize that by the fact of us ignoring this problem and delaying to act on it, it doesn't mean that the problem vanished or was solved. The problem was still there waiting for you to handle it. And so we also realize that by the fact of us ignoring this problem and delaying to solve it, this problem has actually become worse and worse. And now it's this big thing that is getting out of control, and now we regret of not handling it earlier. Take me as an example. I actually had this weakness and a problem of actually approaching girls. Would see a cute girl, obviously liked her, but would not actually get the courage to actually approach and introduce myself. But I did what most of us actually do. I denied of having such a weakness, and I would hide under this personality of a sigma male, that I don't care about girls and these silly relationships, dramas and stuff. I'd say that I'm focused on my goals, I'm focused on the grind. Eventually, reality caught up with me. I realized that it was just a way of me hiding my weakness, of hiding this problem that I didn't know how to actually approach girls. And most men who actually don't know how to approach girls actually hide under this character that I'm focused on the grind, I'm focused on the grind. But even though I was saying I was focused on the grind, it will be good if I was saying that, I'm focused on the grind and I actually have something to show for it. I've been saying that for 5 years, but in 5 years' time, I had nothing tangible to show for it. Yes, I had improved my life in certain areas, but you will expect someone who was focused on the grind for 5 years to actually, by the end of those 5 years, to have something meaningful to show for it. But I had none, so I realized that I had to be real with myself and confront this problem. And actually, when I did that, when I actually accepted the truth and actually dealt with that problem, I actually realized that fuck, approaching girls is one of the easiest thing to do out there, and now it's not quite as hard as it used to be. And I actually love the approach that Vikings had to problems and adversity that they faced, and it could be shown on how they fought fearlessness in the face of adversity. They will approach these problems head on, having the hopes that they will go to Valhalla, where they will feast with the gods because of their bravery that they showed in the battlefield. I think that we should have like a Viking approach to dealing with these problems, fearlessness in the face of problems, walking towards this problem and actually doing away with it in the sense of a Viking spirit. And I promise you, when you do this, there will be a Valhalla. Let me paint this Valhalla for you. First, you'll get the respect of men. Because let's face it, in these modern days, most of the men are actually weak. And so, whenever they see a person who has the balls and the guts to face his problem head on every time they emerge, you'll actually get this respect from men who see it as something unique. Secondly, you will get the adoration of women. It shows some maturity when you're this kind of man who actually deals with these problems whenever they come. It's little boys who actually want others to solve their problems for them or hide away from their problems. So when you're this kind of man, women will actually sense this kind of maturity from you. And also, as you confront and deal with the problems directly, you also radiate this kind of masculine energy that's also obviously attractive to women. As a man, obviously your woman will come to you with her problems, with the hope that you're competent enough to help her deal with her problem. And so it is a very attractive thing of being a man who actually deals with this problem. And so that's the Valhalla, guys. Respect from men and adoration from women. So be that man. Be a fucking Viking when it comes to problems. Approach it directly and ruthlessly. I hope this video was helpful. Be sure to smash that subscribe button, like the video, share it. Peace.